Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our English second class. Today we'll study geography lesson. This is not geography, but in English we'll learn what we understand about a geography lesson that is talked by Brian Patton. Brian Patton, there is a famous poet, and we'll see more about the author in page number 135. Brian Patton was born in Liverpool and grew up in a working-class neighborhood. His first collection of poems was Little Johnny's Confessions, published when he was 21 years old. Patton is also well known for his best-selling poetry collections for children, most famously Gargling with Jelly and Juggling with Gerbils, from which this poem has been taken. Okay. And he's a famous poet and started to write poetry from his age of 21. Okay. We hope that more poets will be there from your class also, and just start writing the poems. And some of his poems are given here. One is Little Johnny's Confession. That's the first poem, first collection of poems. And the important poems or the best-selling poems are Gargling with Jelly and Juggling with Gerbils. Juggling with Gerbils, from which only this particular poem, the geography lesson, has been taken. Okay, we'll come to the lesson. You know that there will be a number of teachers who must have influenced you. Okay, and you have your own reasons why you have been influenced by them. I think that mostly if a teacher talks beyond the text, you will love them. Beyond the text. Sometimes some personal influences will be there. Other than that, if a teacher talks more than a text, that means if it is geography, if he talks not only from the lesson but from everywhere in the world, he can take any subject because that's geography. And if he talks in such a way, you will love that teacher. Or if someone is talking about history, and there will be a number of things that is related to history, also in English. If the teacher takes a lesson, they will be telling more about a particular word. If they strike a word, they will be talking more about that particular word, and also about that particular person you like them, isn't it? Okay, anyway, we'll see. Please analyze if any teacher has been or you have been influenced by any teacher, or you find out the reason why you have been influenced by them. So learn the poem, page number 134. Our teacher told us one day he would leave and sail across a warm blue sea to places he had only known from maps and all his life had longed to be. The house he lived in was narrow and grey, but in his mind's eye he could see sweet-scented jasmine clinging to the walls and green leaves burning on an orange tree. He spoke of the lands he longed to visit, where it was never drab or cold. I couldn't understand why he never left and shook off the school's stranglehold. Then, halfway through his final term, he took ill and never returned. He never got to that place on the map where the green leaves of the orange trees burned. The maps were redrawn on the classroom wall. His name forgotten, he faded away. But a lesson he never knew he taught is with me to this day. I traveled to where the green leaves burn, to where the ocean's glass clear and blue, to places our teacher taught me to love, but which he never knew. Okay, understood something? Okay, we'll discuss. We'll analyze the lesson. Our teacher told us one day he would leave and sail across a warm blue sea. And this teacher is about a geography teacher, and this geography teacher told the students that once he will visit a warm blue sea. So he will sail across. That means he is a lover of traveling, and you know that geography that is related to the world only, or the earth. Okay, so he told that he since he is a geography teacher, he likes to travel across a warm blue sea. Means he likes to travel to a lot of places, including the sea, to places he had only known from maps. Definitely a geography teacher will be using maps often, and they know all the places. Okay, even if they haven't visited, they know all the places, names of the places other than the other teachers. Okay, so he told that he will visit a warm blue sea and also the places that he had only known from the maps, and all his life had longed to be. And this is his lifetime wish. Okay, that means he longed. What's the meaning of longing? Wish is there, longing is there. Wish means I wish to take coffee. That's at present I need that. That's why I wish to take coffee. I long to see my father who is abroad. It's a difference there. That's a strong desire. Okay, and the poet is telling, Brian Patton is telling that this particular student, sir or teacher, he told that he likes to visit all the places and also the warm blue sea, and this is his strong wish or strong longing. Okay, this is his entire wish in life. Yes, next stanza. And also please note down the rhyme scheme here. First line, leave. If we consider this as A, C, this is not rhyming with the first word leave, so I will take it as separate word. Leave C, A, B, then maps, that is different. So C and B, that is related to the second line ending, that is C and B. So what is the rhyme scheme of the lesson? A, B, C, B. A, B, C, B. In such a pattern this poem is written, because all the second line and fourth line has rhyming words. You know, please see whatever comes also. Same most of the poems, the first stanza will be similar to the coming stanzas. The house he lived in was narrow and grey. Why the poet is telling about his house? Okay, that means a person, we have a belief that if a person has more financial status, then only he can visit the places. Maybe that will be the reason, even though he wished he couldn't go. Okay, and the poet is telling that the house he lived in was narrow and grey. Narrow, what is the meaning of narrow? Very small house. And grey, that means that is dull. Okay, but in his mind's eye he could see sweet scented jasmine clinging to the walls. Okay, in the narrow and grey walls of the house he could imagine. That means imagination is something that can be done by us. That's a dream that can be beyond from reality. So in the reality he doesn't have anything, but in his mind's eye, that is his imagination, he saw sweet scented jasmine. That means that is not here, but he imagined that he went somewhere and he has sweet scented jasmine clinging to the walls of the house, and green leaves burning on an orange tree. That is somewhere else in the world, but he could imagine that he has even traveled there, and there are this green leaves burning on an orange tree. Okay, and next stanza. He spoke of the lands he longed to visit, where it was never drab or cold. Okay, and whenever he took classes, He not only talked about the particular area that he discussed, but he talked more than that. Beyond the text, he talked beyond the text. He spoke of the lands he longed to visit. Okay, he will explain during the geography class, he will explain about the places that he is going to visit, and he will describe about what are the specialities of that particular place, and where it was never drab or cold. What is the meaning of drab? Not interesting or colorful. Okay, and that means till then the students did not have an idea about this particular place that was actually very cold and not interested place for the students. But once the teacher talked about this particular place, the students will be getting interested. And I couldn't understand why he never left. Even though he talked a lot about the places he longed to visit, this particular student is a speaker, and he tells that he couldn't understand why he never left. From this line, it's clear that he never visited the place that he longed to visit. And the student doesn't know why he never left, and shook up the school's stranglehold. Okay, stranglehold means complete or overwhelming control. Okay, and he doesn't know why he never left. And even though he had a stranglehold means overwhelming control, even though the teacher had a control over the school and about the subject, why he hadn't visited the place that the student doesn't know. He doesn't know the reason why he hadn't visited the places that he longed to visit. Okay, next stanza. Then, halfway through his final term, he took ill and never returned. Okay, something happened to the teacher. Okay, in the final term, that means if there is an academic year, the final term is after the half-yearly exam, before the annual exam. And halfway through his final term, that means almost it will be in the middle of February, he took ill. He got ill and he was affected by some illness, and he never returned. After that, he did not come to the school at all. He doesn't know the reason, but he stopped his teaching, and after that he never returned. He never got to the place on the map. He told that his longing is to visit the places that is not known to him and known only through the map. And he talked a lot about these particular places that is seen in the map. And the student is talking that he never go to that place on the map. He knows well that the sir or the teacher hasn't visited that particular spot in the map that he longed to visit, where the green leaves of orange trees burned. That was his great wish. That means he wanted to visit the place where the green leaves of the orange trees grew, and he doesn't know the reason, but he hadn't visited. The maps were redrawn on the classroom wall. What's the meaning of redrawn? That means this particular, when he was teaching, he must have drawn a map in the classroom. But after that, the next teacher came and another map must have been drawn there, and the maps were redrawn on this classroom wall. That means years passed by, his name forgotten. You know that gradually the name of the teacher will be forgotten, because you know that now the teachers will be teaching you, and some of you will be influenced by some particular teachers, and you will remember them. All others will forget, and the school will be functioning normally even if the teacher takes leave, or even if the teacher discontinues his teaching, or if he dies, the school will be functioning normally. That is why gradually the name of the teacher have been forgotten by all the students, all the other students and the school. Okay. he faded away. What is the meaning of faded? Fading means that is going slowly, disappearing slowly, and gradual process only. And that means now no one remembers this particular teacher. His name is not recalled by the students, and he slowly faded away. His name slowly faded away. But a lesson he never knew, he taught is with me to this day. But this particular student have been influenced by the teacher, and he didn't know, the teacher didn't know that this particular student had been influenced by the teacher. And the student is talking that, but a lesson he never knew, he taught is with me to this day. And this particular student have been influenced by the lesson taught by the teacher. Okay. You know that the teachers will be taking lesson, after that they will be going, and sometimes they will be resigning or getting transfer, and they will move to another place. And sometimes some students will come and they say that, teacher, I remember this particular class that you taught, or this particular story that you have taught. They will say, okay, that means the teacher may not be remembering it, but the students will remember well. I am not talking that all the students, but one or two students must have been remembering whatever the teacher taught, because they must have been influenced by the teacher. So this particular student is also influenced by the teacher, and he never forgot the lesson that is taught by the particular teacher. Okay, finally, I traveled to where the green leaves burn, to where the ocean's glass clear blue, to places our teacher taught me to love, but which he never knew. Okay, the teachers will be talking about their desires, their longings, but the student kept in his mind whatever the teacher taught. That means, what was the greatest desire of the teacher? He wanted to visit the places where the green leaves of the orange trees burned. That was his long wish, but he could not visit, or he must have died. He took leave after in the halfway of the third term, and never returned, means he must have died. Okay, and he must have been suffering from a serious illness, and he died. But the student never forgot the lesson that is taught by the teacher, that is related to the places that he will visit if he is alive. What is that? Which is the place where the green leaves of the orange trees burned. Okay, and the student is fulfilling the desires of the teacher here. Okay, and he visited. I traveled to where the green leaves burn. I visited that place because I have been influenced by the teacher. So that was my desire, that I have to fulfill the desire of the teacher that he could not fulfill. So I visited the places where the green leaves burn. Next one, to where the ocean's glass clear blue. And another desire of the teacher was he wanted to visit a warm blue sea. So this is glass clear means transparent. Okay, where the ocean's glass clear and blue. That means he even sailed across the ocean. That was another desire of the teacher, and the student visited even the oceans, or he sailed across the ocean to places our teacher taught me to love. Okay, these were the places that my teacher told me to love, but which he never knew. But even though I have fulfilled the desire of the teacher did not know whether I'm doing all these things for him. Okay, and this is actually the satisfaction of the teacher. That means whatever he teaches must have been influenced by the student, or sometimes they will be teaching it in the future. Okay, so the teacher will be having a satisfaction if he knows that the student is teaching the particular area. Or if someone is taking English as your major subject, I will be very happy because I taught you English. Okay, even if you have been influenced or not, I'll be very happy. In such a way, the teacher's satisfaction is when the student does whatever he taught or teaches to others whatever he taught. And here the student does whatever he wished for. Okay, this is a short poem, very simple poem, but it gives a real meaning of teaching and learning. Okay, teaching and learning, that is the related one. And whatever the teacher teaches will be influenced to the students. Okay, so that is geography lesson, very simple poem, and the question answers will be sent to you. And last part, page number 136. If you are interested, recite these two short poems, choosing an apt tone for each. You can make your own tone. That is, and also last one, the two poems you read are adjective or noun poems. Adjective noun poems. Write two adjective noun poems. Choose a single subject but change the adjective to give each poem a different tone. Here is a template of the adjective noun poem. That means almost the backbone or something, the background is given here. The rest you have to fill. You can write your own poems if you are interested. Otherwise, you leave. Okay, that's all.